and that is the unity of the Ummah, and the fact that we're supposed to be one brotherhood. We're supposed to be united. And it's something that you find being violated every single day. And we all know that the weakness of this Ummah comes directly from its disunity. If we were a united force, even if four families are united, 4 tribes are united, 4 villages are united, 4 cities are united, 4 countries are united, that becomes a force. What to speak of 20% of the world's population? So it is, something that we all know. At the same time, when we talk about the power and the strength of the enemies of Islam and the enemies of this Ummah, when we think about genocidal maniacs like Israel that is trying to commit mass murder in front of the eyes of the world, and the Muslims, of course, are just standing there and watching. It frustrates us at our own weakness, but you can't address that by being frustrated, and you can't address that by being angry. You have to address the root of the problem. Why are we paralyzed? And one of the most practical answers to that question is we're not united. We don't have one voice. We don't speak as one. And how do you even get there? That seems like an impossible thing to achieve, right? It just seems like it's so... Forget about the resources and the economic, financial, technological, military resources of those that would wish us harm. Forget about that. That's not even a big challenge. The real challenge is internal. The real challenge is what we have within ourselves. And I wanted to not just give a kind of a rah-rah speech about the unity of the Ummah, because you've heard a million of those and so have I. But I wanted to actually start at the root of the problem. Let's think about this another way. If you saw a perfectly good field and there's nothing growing on it, and you're saying, there's nothing growing here. What's the matter with this place? But you didn't put a seed in, you didn't take care of the soil, you didn't water it, and then you're complaining there's nothing growing here? And once you do put the seed in, and you do supply it with water, and you do make sure it gets plenty of sun, and you do make sure that the insects and the infestations that come get cleaned up regularly, if you're not doing that, then you have no right to complain. And if you are doing that, if I am doing that, then I can't put a seed in yesterday and then say, where's my tree? I don't see a tree. What's wrong with this thing? I don't, forget it. Why am I bothering? What do I even have to care? This is not how maturity works. This is not how strength works. You have to nurture something, develop something, cultivate something, and eventually you get somewhere. And by the way, we're talking about Muslim unity. Forget about Muslims for a second. Think about the people that are united not by their love of Allah and their love of His Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Think of a group of people united by their love of money. Think of a corporation. Think of a multi-million-dollar corporation, right? And they have all these different departments, different locations, different offices, right? And inside those offices, there's politics. And those people are not united with each other. They're trying to cut each other's throats. And what do these companies do? They have multi-million-dollar investments into team-building exercises and company cohesion and office parties and all this kind of stuff just to get people to feel united with each other and to not undercut each other and to develop a sense of belonging to each other. But what is it behind all of that? What is it that's uniting these people, these professionals? What is uniting these engineers and these programmers and these accountants and these designers and all these people in this giant office? What unites them is a common cause. We all got to make more money, right? And what are they gonna celebrate at the end of the year? Well, our sales went up 20%. This is what unites us. This is why we're an unstoppable force. Like, in their mind, it's this financial incentive. That's what unites them. That's what drives their entire motivation. So the first thing that I can tell you is there are people that otherwise would hate each other's guts, but they're united by a common cause. And sometimes that common cause is not that significant. It's just money, or it's just fame, or it's just there could be 2 athletes that hate each other's guts, but they're on the same team and they're fighting for the championship. They're acting like a team. They're united. He's not going to not pass the ball because he doesn't like the guy. He's not going to do it. And if he does, his career's over. They're going to act like a team. But even in those kinds of settings, these examples that I'm giving you, in all of these kinds of settings, one thing is common: insincerity. I'm only united with you because we need to win this game. I'm only united with you because we need to make these sales. Other than that, you can fall off a cliff. I wouldn't care. Other than that, I would not be in the same room with you. I don't, I can't stand the thought of you or the sight of you. You understand? So there's an agenda, there's a material agenda that unites people. Other than that, they couldn't care less. There are people, and when you think of politics, you think of, the Democratic and Republican Party, and almost insignificantly the independents. But even if you think of these parties, you think, oh, they're on one, the Democrats are all together, the Republicans are all together. These people inside their own party, they hate each other's guts. They would love to destroy each other, even within one party. تَحْسَبُهُمْ جَمِيعًا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ شَتَّى. Allah says, you think their hearts are all united. Their hearts are all over the place. You think they're one, they're all over the place. So the question then is, when Allah is calling on us to be one ummah, that we are in fact one ummah, then we have to ask, what is it that is uniting us? What exactly is it that's uniting us? And if that force that unites us is anything short of the most powerful, if it's the most powerful motivation that unites us, then the unity itself will be strong. But if the thing that unites us is something less, then the unity itself will be weak. It'll be as weak as the thing that brought us together. So for example, now we're sitting in this masjid in Fort Worth, and we're all coming from different, some of you are coming from work, some of you are coming from home, some of you are coming from your businesses. You're all coming and sitting here in this masjid together. The men here, the women here, the children here. And all of us that are here together, we're united by this desire to worship Allah. That's what we're united by. But actually, right after this is done, we're all going to go back individually. So even though there's a few hundred of us, even 1,000 of us, if we're all together, we're actually 1,000 individuals. We're not united except by an act. We came and performed an act together, and then we left. That's it. This was not a demonstration of unity. This was a demonstration of a common objective. That's all we had, a common objective. All of our objective was to make Salatul Jum'ah. That was it. This does not show that this community is united in any way. This doesn't show that. This is about, because our purpose is, it's a sincere purpose, it's worship. But if you're just united by an objective, and that's all it is, then as soon as that objective is over, your unity is over. Nothing else matters. I just want my kids to go to the masjid. I just want my kids to learn some Qur'an. I just want to be, I just want to feel connected to Islam in some way. That's all. If that's all your connection is, then that's all it is. Once that is met, you have no other interest. You have no other purpose. The Qur'an paints a very different picture of what unity looks like. It's not driven by an activity. It's not driven by a giant Eid prayer. And I laugh and cry at the same time every year when I hear people arguing about which day should we celebrate Eid. Because we should be united celebrating it on the same day. And I look at that discussion and I say, really? If all of us were celebrating Eid on the same exact day, that would be unity to you? Those 20 minutes? That's what unity is? You don't even know that the person you're praying next to is their family members in the hospital. You don't know. You don't even know this woman just lost her business, or this one just lost their dad, or this one just, lost their job, or this one's going through a health crisis, or this one's going through, you don't know. So what's the unity? A picture that shows lots of people standing together? That's unity. We have artificial, meaningless, I would argue, artificial and meaningless standards of unity. And that's why when we complain that we don't have unity, our complaint is also meaningless. It's the same as what I mentioned before. You're standing in front of a field, nothing is growing, and you're like, hey, there's nothing growing here. Wow, how come it's not there already for me? It should already exist and I could just walk into a garden. No. Unless you're ready to be the gardener, there's nothing to complain about. So let's take a step back a little bit and think about that. And I'm first and foremost going to talk to the men. And I just want you to sisters, bear with me. Your turn will come. If not today, one day, inshallah. But for now, I'm just going to address the men. For many men in the Muslim community, and I've had many conversations with lots and lots of men across the Muslim communities in the world and also in the United States. One of the most common things you hear from men, the feelings that you get from men, everybody needs something from me. My family needs something from me. My parents need something from me. My kids need something from me. My wife needs something from me. My in-laws need something from me. My boss needs something from me. My community needs something from me. Everybody needs something. And if they get a phone call, even if before they pick up a phone call, it's not going to be about them, hey, I just wanted to say salam. Are you doing okay? Is everything all right with you? Let's get together sometime. And even if someone calls and says, Assalamu alaikum, how are you? Already in your head is, how are you? But what do you really want? What is this about? What's this call for? Nobody's getting in touch with you because they care about you. They're getting in touch with you because they care about something you can give them. So you're just, either you're a cash register, or you're a service dispenser, or you're a connector. That's all you are. You're just there to be utilized. You're a tool to be used. And that's it. Nobody else cares about you. Nobody actually sees you for who you are, right? And then you come to the masjid and you hear Muslims are all brothers. Assalamu alaikum, brother. And you give each other hugs and salams and dua for each other and all of that. That's great. And the moment you say, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm busy. I'm kind of busy right now. Because nobody has time for you. Nobody has time for you. And take it a step further, when you, in many families, people depend on you. They depend on you. You're providing, for example, right? And then all of a sudden you get sick and you lose your job. Not only do you lose your job, you lose your respect in the family. People don't look at you the same way anymore. Nobody calls you, and they used to call you all the time. They don't call you anymore. They don't check up on you, nothing. In fact, they're avoiding you as best as possible. You know why? Because all of a sudden you went from someone who was giving to someone who might be asking. So let's stay away from someone who might be asking. If this is the condition even inside of our families, what do you imagine is the condition when we expand that a little bit to a level of a community? What happens then? What happens when people feel nobody actually cares about them? And we happen to live in a society. The United States is different from Denmark. It's different from Germany. It's even different from Canada. Let me tell you something that you already know about the United States. This is the poster child of capitalism. And capitalism is, you gotta look out for number one. Nobody cares about you. You gotta care for yourself. Nobody's coming for you. So we already breathe capitalism in every day. And on top of that, in your personal lives, in our community lives, it's demonstrated over and over again that even though there is some level of camaraderie between us, salam and dua between us, it doesn't go past formalities. It's not actual brotherhood. Here's the litmus test for what real brotherhood looks like. If I'm really going through a crisis, if there's something terrible I'm going through, is there someone I can call immediately? Who would I think of calling immediately? And would it be the brothers at the masjid? Would it be the people I hang out with? Would it be who would it be? And if you have those people in your life, then you have some level of brotherhood in your life. But if you have to think twice, if I tell this person, what are they going to think of me? If I tell this person, how will they use it against me? You have to calculate whether or not you should share what's troubling you with someone, because you don't know if they're going to go talk to 20 other people about you. You're going to become the interesting topic at an Eid dinner. You know what this brother told me? I was going through. Oh my God. You don't want to become somebody else's entertaining story. So you keep your mouth shut. You know what that means? You don't have brotherhood in your life.